Hey folks, Duke CT here, and it's been 5 years since the horrible Chris Benoit murders, and it is honestly probably one of the most horrific things that has happened in the entire history of professional wrestling. In fact, when that news hit, personally I actually thought of stop watching wrestling, not only WWE but TNA or any type of. I was just about to say, you know what, I can't watch this anymore, and it was made even worse a couple months later when you had the whole steroid list from I think Sports Illustrated come out, and you see all these guys from WWE who basically, especially guys like Batista and Randy Orton, they were both on there. They were caught for using steroids, and they didn't get any type of suspension. They didn't get any type of punishment. And you know, Umaga got something. Umaga was the only one I think got really punished for it. But yeah, Batista and Randy Orton didn't get any type of punishment. I was like really fed up. I was feeling like they didn't really care. They didn't really actually care about this whole thing, and it just really, I really thought that, you know what, the WWE doesn't really, WWE wellness thing was a joke, and I thought this thing will never really become past. All you need to do, if you're a big enough star, you'll probably never get caught with a wellness. You'll probably never get anything else. All you get is like a little pat, like a little, not pat back, but a slap on the wrist, and and that's it. I actually thought that was it, and the WWE or any of the other promoters and all that type of stuff. The other companies, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, Chicago, New Japan, all that stuff, and probably just gonna ignore the rules and just keep going as it's going on. But I was pleasantly surprised as the years went on, as I still stayed a pro wrestling fan and everything else, that they started really changing. The wellness policy started to really take, WWE really started to take the wellness policy, started taking it a lot more seriously. For example, you have guys like, say, Jeff Hardy, who, let's be real, who would probably never gotten suspended, did get suspended, even though he did get pushed for his championships. He was pushed to be WWE champion and everything else, but he was suspended. He still, served his time and everything else. In fact, the WWE released him, knowing that he was basically like he never wanted to get help, and then what happened with Jeff Hardy and everything else like that. And there were other cases as well, like guys like MVP, Maven, guys who were really, they didn't pass wellness or what have you, said that, you know what, this thing really saved my life. They said, those guys basically said that without the wellness policy, they wouldn't be here today. And with the same thing with Sean Waltman as well, as he's going to rehab, and he went to rehab and he's gotten better, gotten a lot better, a lot more healthier over the year and everything else. That's my, that's the positive thing from this wellness policy, as well as actually trying to take out, like, say, big names like, say, Randy Orton, who did fail around wellness. They did suspend him for 60 days, which surprised me because, again, I actually thought someone like Randy Orton, as big as he is, Randy Orton, champion, all this type of stuff, a really big name, people know him, all that type of stuff. He was suspended. The WWE put their foot down and suspended him. They didn't try to look at it another way out or anything else. Say, oh, he served his time doing whatever and everything else. They actually said, they actually just did the whole thing, saying he's now suspended for 60 days. I have no problem with that. No problem at all. And hopefully the WWE keeps going with that. And another thing that I think has really changed is that the whole hardcore, blood and violence type stuff, where the WWE has basically, they stop matches and all that type of stuff. Guys getting bloody, which I get frustrated at too, and I know why they're doing it is to make sure the guys are like, make sure that the guys are safe and healthy. Make sure the guys are not really hurt and everything else, which I can appreciate, but it has been, a bit overboard. But sometimes rightly so. But I honestly think it's maybe more of a detriment to keep doing that type of state, like trying to let me try to reiterate what I'm saying. More of a detriment. What I'm trying to say is that it's nice of the WWE really say, try to take on the hardcore type of stuff, like the chair shots to the head and stopping that, which is good. But to me, it's really hypocritical. While doing that, they still have the 306. They go 365 days a year. Like they work every day of the week, twice on Sunday, that sort of thing. They still have that same mindset. And to me, that does not fly in the year 2012. Actually, doesn't really need to fly back in 2001, 2, or whatever. You can't keep running a pro wrestling business like that. I mean, to me, a month or 2 months off would do this. Would WWE, TNA, and anything else would do them wonders. Not only not only for the wrestlers, but creatively. I mean, let's think about it. If the creative guys actually had like 2 months off to relax and not angles or everybody else, this, that, and the other, and all that type of stuff, get like 2 months off to relax and actually start to draw up for stuff like that, and actually really hammer out plans for the rest of the year for most of the guys, for the main eventers, the mid-carders, tag teams, and everything else, divas, that sort of thing. Maybe that would actually be better. I mean, people would be like, hey, you know what? I like that. People would actually be a lot more positive. I think most of you guys in the YWC or IWC or whatever you want to call yourselves, I think that would be a lot more positive instead of just, having the same old stuff. I mean, let's be honest, the WWE, as good as TNA is, I mean, one of the reasons why TNA did have had a bump against the WWE is that they actually had like only 12 pay-per-views. But also, they actually only had they taped a lot of stuff, and they had like only 1 or 2 days, 3 days, they take 2-3 shows like in 1 or 2 days, and then have the rest of the week to like wrestlers can relax or go home and see their families or take other bookings, that sort of thing. Which I think is probably for the best. But I still think 1 or 2 or 3 months, 3-month rest period for maybe for the WWE or something would be even better off, because Lord knows I think a lot of people would really be fine with like No Way Out or Over the Limit would just disappear. No one would really cry tears for that. And I think most people won't. I won't. But anyway, it just seems that WWE and in the pro wrestling business as a whole there have been some positive steps to make sure that tragedy just doesn't happen again. Especially when you heard all the the head injuries and how Chris Benoit's head was his brain was that of an 81-year-old Alzheimer's patient, and instead of the 38-year-old type healthy type brain, that someone like Chris Benoit would, he has a healthy brain and everything else. That is something I hope that WWE, TNA, ROH, or anything else are looking at, and hopefully that they start really to keep going on that positive path, keep going with the making the wrestlers keep the wrestlers safe and healthy for not only for better business, because a healthy worker is a happy worker and all that type of stuff, but for for the betterment for the PR department. Because let's be honest, the medium age of pro wrestling, people who are still pro wrestling these days, I mean, it's only 50 years old. I mean, I guarantee you there are some people who would not be surprised, and it's still, I guarantee you, people who will comment, I wonder if you ask this question, if John Cena or whatever died before 50, where he goes all hard out and everything. That's the main problem. That's what I think it's the WWE needs to do. The WWE needs to keep its, just, makes its workers, take as much time off they need. They need to start maybe even sharing talents. I don't know. I don't know what they have to do because they have a huge roster. Why not just rotate some of those guys into the WWE or something like that? And try not. I mean, and take those days off. Take those couple months off. I know they're working hard on not getting on the pay because once it was ridiculous, like 16, 17 maybe views. Then at 15, 14, 13. Now it's 12. Hopefully next year will be 11 or 10. And everything else. Hopefully they are working towards getting to that last. Hopefully working to get like 2 or 3 months to 2 or 3 months. Because I think that will be a very positive change. Because I think, like I said, it would not only benefit the wrestlers and everybody else, but I think it would benefit guys like the guys in creative who could just sit back, relax, and plan things out a lot better instead of doing the same type of stuff. And we get main events like Big Show and John Cena for the 5,000th time. Anyway, that's all I have to say here. Dukesy T here. Peace and love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all later.